Hello everybody, Deckmates Gaming back here with another deck profile. This is Braden coming at you with a Ergon Buckeye deck. This is actually something pretty interesting that I've been cooking up ever since I saw Buckeye. I thought it was really interesting that they put 10 instead of 8 as the amount of light or yellow, white, whatever you want to call it, cards. So that's I thought it was pretty neat, so I was trying to cook up ideas of something that you would want to run more than 8 light cards, and I think I found something pretty decent, especially with Ergon as your champion. I'll get into exactly why, but yeah, for those of you who don't know, Buckeye just lets you start the game with a 500 Guardian that can sacrifice itself and make it so that something can't be I believe it's only prevent the next damage that would be dealt to target unit this turn. And then it also has a soul burst to prevent all damage that would be dealt to target unit this turn. So, and then Ergon is just your milling power, so you just tap them to mill the top 2 cards of your deck, and then you can exhaust and pay 1 and then put target unit from your discard zone on the top of your deck. So he's incredible utility. I think he might be one of the best champions by far. First I'll get into the white or yellow cards. I'm just going to call it yellow from now on, I think. So I played 2 Yukis. I still think she's just incredible. If you're playing yellow, you should still play her. I couldn't fit 3 into this deck, but in most yellow decks, in most either splash or whatever, unless you're running something that's specifically not dealing with just getting free value, you might as well play her. So if you have her, play her. She's incredible. And then here's the trump card. We play 1, Iskandar. He has Destroyer. He's a 10 drop, and it costs 1 less to play for each gear in your discard zone. So if you see where I'm going with this, this is a mill deck that mills a bunch of cards into your discard, and then it can reduce the cost of this guy, and you can play him for a reduced cost and then equip some of the gears that you have milled or discarded for effects or whatever it may be. But he also has an arrive to target up to 2 different gears in your discard zone and equip them to this card, and then he also has expel a gear equipped to this card and expel target unit, so he has removal as well. Just a really good card. And then for the gear, we run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just one of each gear. Okay, you're going to be randomly milling 2 cards per turn, just about, unless you need to use Ergon's second ability, but most of the time you're just going to be milling 2 cards each turn, okay? If you draw them, you can just equip them to stuff that you have, because black has a lot of creatures as well, or units I should say. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about it. I just was trying to think of, what deck can I utilize running a bunch of one-ofs, and I think a mill deck is the perfect use of running one of each of these. You can basically, he is just your utility card of the deck. Once you mill him, you can put him on top with Ergon, draw him, and then just keep spamming that. It's just like the Sylvia, when people figured out the Sylvia combo, where you just keep putting Sylvia on top, draw it, play it again. You just constantly are doing that. But this, you're constantly getting a huge 4,000 destroyer out on the board that has 2 different things that you can choose. You can give them can't be targeted by spells. You can give it the quickness one. I mean, you have a lot of choices with it. So I just think it's very, very good. We'll have to playtest it some more to see if it's actually like really, really consistent, but so far it seems pretty good. Okay, so then for black, we play 3, Fail Golem number 1. It's just a really good 1-drop. I don't think why you wouldn't run this. It also has a ruined effect where you can send a golem unit from your deck to your discard, so it's just super good. It's really good with Ergon. Speaking of really good with Ergon, this guy, Golem of Devourment, it's like a pseudo infinite guardian with Ergon. If you're not doing like the combo play with Iskandar, he is basically just continuously there, you know, because he has a ruined effect where you can search your deck for a copy of him and play it. So you're basically just going to keep doing that with it. If they ruin it, boom, get another one. And then once it's in the drop, you can use Ergon, put it on top, draw into it, or do it multiple times before you actually start using it. But yeah, he's a really good card. I also play 3, Golem of Jealousy. It's your draw power. It's just a 2-drop arrive. If you control another golem unit, draw 1 card. It's just there to draw. That's basically that. Then we play 3, Golem of Avarice. A 3-drop 2000 arrive. If you control another golem, discard a random card from your opponent's hand. Just really good at, you know, your opponent could have 1 card in hand. Boom, gone. It doesn't happen very often, but, you know, it has happened before when we were play testing. Or if they have an important couple of pieces and you get rid of one of them, it's just a really good card. Don't not run it, you know. 3 of like the best card in black, Hellish Guardhound. There's not much to say about the card. It's absolutely ridiculous. 3-drop for 2000 Guardian, and then it has an arrive skill. Target unit cannot attack next turn. Like, it stops so much. You just really, really need to run this if you're running black. 3, Golem of Allurement. It's a 3-drop 1500 arrive. Take control of target unit with cost 1 or less, and it cannot attack this turn. So far we've been ruling it that the tokens that you get are 1 or less. I'm not exactly sure if that's true or not. I hope it is, otherwise we've been kind of cheating with it. If that's not the case, then we might just cut this. But yeah, I guess let us know in the comments, or we'll look it up too as well to try and find exactly if that's the case or not. But 3, Mega Magic Yami. It's the 2-drop, probably one of the best spells that you can run in black. Choose 1, or if you have 2 or less towers remaining, you can choose both. Target unit gets minus 1000, and return target unit with cost 3 or less from your discard zone to the field. Just very, very good for 2 mana. It's so good. The other really, really good 2 mana spell is Dust Strike. It's an instacast, and you can only play it if you control a dark unit, but you will most likely have dark unit. Target unit gets minus 2500. So I mean, you can just kill stuff straight up. There's a lot of like beefy dudes that are, you know, 2000 or 25 that you can just kill. I also do run 2 Brain White Beams. I still think this card is actually really, really good. You can target a unit for 3 mana, and if its power is 2000 or less, exhaust it and take control of it. If its power is more than 2000, give it minus 2000. So, just a really good swinging card, you know, if you need to control the game a little bit more. Next, 2 Soul Transfer. Destroy target unit, and if you do, you can put it into play a unit from your discard zone whose cost is lower than the destroyed unit. So I think it's really good just because it's four mana just removal, you know, and you get something back. Anything that gives you value after you've done something, it's pretty good. Speaking of which, I run 3 because you're milling in this deck. You're going to be milling a lot, and if you draw into this, it's going to be really, really good value because you pay 5 and then you get a 3 and a 2, or a 2 2s, or a 1 and 2 2. Like, it's just, or 2, you play up to 2 target golem units. So it'd have to be either like a 2 2s or a 3 and a 2, but it has to combine cost of 5 or less. So you can't play 3 cards, but it is 2 units that you're getting out on the board for 5 mana. So, and you will have a big discard zone for sure. And then last spell is 2 Debilitating Miasma. It's a 4-drop insta-cast, and up to 2 target units get minus 2,000. So if they have 2 pesky guardians that you need to get by in order to win the game, you just play this before, and then boom, you should have it. And then as a one-of, I do play 1 Golem of Vengeance, just because it's a 6-drop that you can, if you do mill it or something, you can put it on top with Ergon and draw it and play it when you need to or something like that. It's a good thing to have because it has Destroyer, and then it has an arrival effect where you look at your opponent's hand and select 1 card, and your opponent discards that card, and then if you control 2 or more other golems, you select 2 cards instead of 1. So if you need to push for game or get rid of some of their hand size, it's just really good for that. So yeah, I mean, so far I'm really liking the deck. I think it's a really cool take on these 2 colors. So I'll zoom out a little bit so you can see the full picture, I guess. There's a little glare on the right there, but I mean, so far I'm liking the list. There's probably going to be some tweaks to it, but as of right now, this is what I've come up with for something that can run Buckeye really efficiently using the 10 yellow cards as opposed to 8. So hope you enjoyed. Leave a like and comment and let us know what kind of videos you'd like to see in the future here, and yeah, we'll be back with more content coming soon here. Later.